Good morning. Good morning. My name is Shawn Hart, back for some more from my book I co authored, Private Label Millionaire Secrets. As you know by now, I intend to go through every single page by page, word for word, chapter by chapter. We've gone through the preface, peer reviews. We've done chapter one, talking about where it all started, which was kind of an interesting story. Chapter two was the easiest way to create sales, which was pretty amazing because a lot of folks get this part wrong. And chapter two talks about just giving consumers or your prospects what they already want to buy. So you don't really have to sell it. And then chapter three was finding your starving crowd, like how to find that rabid crowd of consumers who are ready and willing to buy whatever you are selling. And then last evening, I tried an evening reading, and we went through chapter four, which was all about customer journeys, like getting on that journey that your customer is on, so that you can better serve their needs. Now, today is a pivotal chapter. Need a little more coffee, apparently, but today we're going through chapter five, which is all about creating your MAFIA offer. That is, creating an offer that they simply cannot say no to. If you're streaming on YouTube, one of our YouTube channels or one of our Facebook groups or my private Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you're seeing this, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below the video where you're streaming it. Or if you have a question, you can also post that in the comments. For those of you joining me late, my name is Shawn Hart, and I'm going through page for page the book that I co-authored last year, Private Label Millionaire Secrets. Now, without further ado, let's jump into chapter five, creating your MAFIA offer. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse, and this comes from Don Vito Corleone, of course, from the movie The Godfather. What is a MAFIA offer? Well, let's look at an example of two different offers here, and then you can decide if one of these is a MAFIA offer. Here's an example of two offers. Let's say you want to buy a horse. You go to the market to buy a horse and you see two offers. The first man's offer is this: buy this horse, ride it for 30 days. If you don't like it for any reason, bring it back and I'll give you all your money back. Well, this is an amazing offer, right? It's priced fairly in the market. There's no risk. The offer creates more value for the customer. And this enables you to try the horse out before committing permanently. Great deal, right? But here's the second man's offer. Now, listen to this: take this equal horse for the exact same price and pay me nothing today. You can ride the horse for 30 days to make sure it's a perfect fit for your needs. Only after that 30 days, when you decide that a better horse and a better offer does not exist, let me know that you're happy and I'll stop by your house so you can pay me for the horse. If anything happens to the horse within 90 days, I'll replace it free of charge and I'll deliver a free bale of hay to you. Now, which one of these offers is better? The choice is obvious, right? The latter is what we call a MAFIA offer. It's an offer you cannot refuse. And when you can make an offer that cannot be compared with any other offer, then you eliminate competition, demand attention, and create a flood of new customers. Now, let's talk about the importance of naming an offer. The importance of naming an offer. When naming an offer or creating a title to a product listing, you should take it seriously. The name says a lot about your offer. For example, it answers the questions in a prospect's mind. Is this for me? Should I investigate further? And other various things running through their heads. There are certain elements that should always be included in your headline and your listing title, besides the obvious search terms and keywords for ranking optimization. In fact, you need to include any obvious search terms that you need to be ranked for. This applies to Amazon listings or search engine optimization. The headline should answer a question in your prospect's mind. You should include any obvious benefits, and you should call your customer out directly. And we like to use alliteration. For example, super sharp scissors. Here's why: the best offer in the world will not convert if it doesn't attract eyeballs or buyers. Your job is to create a headline around your offer that immediately piques the interest of your prospect enough to get them to take action. That's why it's super important to get this right. Here's an example. This is horse for sale, 30-day money back guarantee. Or Huge, hardworking horse, try before you buy, comes with no pay, hey. Obviously, that's a funny example. Now, let me give you something you can use. Side sleepers, pure sleep, perfect pillow, proven to provide perfect sleep, or it's free. Don't be afraid to rename your offer to keep it fresh and split test the different names. Now, I'm going to give you an acronym here. MAFIA is actually an acronym, and this is a hack. MAFIA means something. The M means make it obvious. A, add all search terms. F, focus on your avatar. I, include best benefits. And A for alliteration. That is, two or more words that begin with the same letter, such as Post Purchase Pro, my digital marketing agency. So, breaking down the MAFIA headline hack, let's talk about make it obvious. When it comes to making it obvious, you need to include language that makes your product the obvious choice as to why they need it. It should stand out as a no-brainer, solving their immediate issues. Pro tip: the more certainty you can give your customers before they buy from you, the easier you'll create sales and the more money you'll make. Let me grab a sip here. If you're joining me late, my name is Shawn Hart. I'm reading through page by page my book, Private Label Millionaire Secrets. Now for the A in MAFIA offer headline hack, stands for add all search terms. Include all important search terms. It's really important to use your most relevant and highest volume search terms in your title for search engine optimization. Focus on your avatar. Call out your prospects specifically. This is the F in MAFIA. Focus on your avatar. Call out your prospects specifically, like in the example previously given, side sleepers. You're letting the prospect know to pay attention because this offer is specifically for her. For example, let's say you're walking through a crowded shopping mall and you see someone or hear someone say, "Hey, you." How would you respond? Probably wouldn't. What if instead someone says, "Hey, you, Bob Odell"? Assuming your name is Bob Odell, how much more likely would you be to respond? The I in MAFIA offer headline hack is include best benefits. Your customers must notice at a glance that your product is the perfect solution for their problem. You can do this easily by specifically including benefits in the title or the offer name. Example: the only bamboo pillow that has been proven to relieve shoulder pain for stomach sleepers. And then don't forget the final A in MAFIA offer, which is alliteration. When you name your brand or offer with repeating letters or sounds, your customers will have an easier time remembering you. Example: Post Purchase Pro is the only done for you email marketing service that's been proven to increase sales for Amazon sellers around the globe. It's not a requirement to always use all 5 of these MAFIA elements, but the more you can use, the better results you'll get. We also want to remind you that if you don't need to do the MAFIA headline hack in the order of MAFIA, you want to choose something that sounds best to you, and don't be afraid to come up with several different versions before you decide on one. The more you do this, the better you'll become at it. No surprise, right? And the more versions you test, the more winners you will discover. You may not even understand why one is better than the other. Just optimize with the best version and move on. Try to create 3 to 4 versions of your advertising campaign or offer. Decide which one performs best and make that one your control as you split test other versions against the control. I actually just did this yesterday. Oftentimes, like he doesn't know he's my friend, but the author of this purple book right here, $100 million offers, Alex Hormozy, he often says on his podcast, we have to be reminded more than we have to be taught. So a lot of the things that you're probably reading through in this book, Private Label Millionaire Secrets, you probably have already heard or maybe you know a little bit about. But like Alex says, we more so need to be reminded of what we know than we need to be taught. And just like yesterday, Seth and I were getting ready to do this PayPal email hack. You know, I can't really give you all the inside of it, but what we were doing before we we send out this mass payment to 90,000 people around the world, we decided, or actually Seth said, "Hey, stop for a minute. This is a one-shot deal. Let's test 2 different ideas or 3 different ideas before we decide which one to roll out. So let's grab 1,000 people randomly and we'll send them offer A. let's grab 1,000 people randomly and send them offer B and offer C and so on. Well, it's a good thing I did. I kind of rolled my eyes silently and I thought, yeah, that's probably a good idea. But I mean, I'm a marketer. I know what works, right? So why test it? You should always test it. What I found, and let me just pull up the results here real quick. From that simple split test, I found that offer one, the one that I thought was, hey, this is a no brainer, let's go with it, was converting at 16%, 1 6. Offer two is converting at 66.67%. Yes, exactly. That's what, 6 times, or let's see, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 times better conversions, more than 4 times, almost 5 times the conversions of 16%. So just imagine if I would have sent that offer one out to my entire list of 90,000 people and it converted at 16%. Yeah, that's a great day. But how much better is 66%? And that's what happens when you split test. So just because you think it's a great idea and you're a professional, quote unquote, like I should be, doesn't mean that the marketplace, your customer, your prospect list is going to vote on your side. Okay, so for those of you joining me late, my name is Shawn Hart. I'm going through my book, Private Label Millionaire Secrets, step by step, word for word, page for page, chapter for chapter, and I'm answering questions. If you have comments, if you're streaming this on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and leave those comments below the video, and I'll bring those up here. So let's talk about the naming. This is back to the book now, naming summary. And for those of you joining late, this is chapter 5, which is creating your MAFIA offer. A lot of sellers seem to overlook the fact that naming your offer, the title of your listing, is of great significance and plays a major role in whether or not your MAFIA offer will be successful. Your name must always attract the perfect customer avatar for optimal results, or your offer will be falling on deaf ears. Even though you may know exactly what your offer is, we need to always assume your prospect does not. If you don't spend enough time working on your name, then your conversions will suffer. Don't be lazy when you're crafting the perfect MAFIA offer headline, because a great name alone can increase conversions by 73% from what we've seen. Okay, basic business concepts. Let's get this out of the way before moving on. There are a few simple concepts you should understand about your business. When we first started, our goal was to have more cash in our pockets at the end of the day compared to what we had that morning. As a young entrepreneur, we'd be asked questions like, what is your gross profit, your net margins, and other terms that we were not familiar with. What they really wanted to know is, are you making any money? So let's talk about profits. Your total revenue, subtracting any direct cost of delivering your product or service, would be gross profit. If I sell a hula hoop for $40 and my cost is $6, then my gross profit is $34, or 85% profit margin. This is not net profit, though. Net profit is what my early peers were asking for when asking, are you making any money? So net profit is what is left in your pocket after all expenses have been paid. And let's talk about something else, LTV, or lifetime value. The total gross profits accumulated over the lifetime of a customer gives you customer lifetime value. An easy way to find this is the gross profit multiplied by how many times the customer, on average, will make a purchase over their lifetime. For the example above, if my average customer, I should say, purchases 3 times at $40 each purchase and $34 profit per purchase, then quick math says their lifetime value is 34 times 3 purchases, or $102. Now, we normally do not include costs such as rent, software, administrative fees, etc., in lifetime value, but you can if you need a more specific number for your business model, or if you have very slim margins. As a side note, some businesses will calculate lifetime value differently depending on whether or not they're calculating total revenue or total gross profit over the life of the relationship. We normally use gross profit for clarity's sake. Part of the offer, of course, is the price. So this is going to be one of my favorite segments. Let's tackle pricing before we move on. Fair enough? I'm going to grab a drink and then we'll jump into pricing secrets. You're going to love this. This is a true story of what happened to me when I was a teenager. Decaf coffee. I mean, who would have thought it, right? Here we go. Back to the book. Welcome, those of you joining late. My name is Shawn Hart. I'm going through my book, page for page, Private Label Millionaire Secrets. answering your questions that you have along the way. Feel free to comment, like, share, follow. You know the drill. Pricing secrets. My teeth were chattering from the cold as I nervously climbed a 12-foot ladder, rolled up a huge area rug, opened his car door, and threw it into the back seat. This would be the first time I used this bold new strategy. I then walked back to the driver's window and said, "That will be $150, please." Apparently, the driver didn't understand what I meant, and he gave me a puzzled look and asked, "How much?" I had decided to jump into the Oriental rug business while still attending high school. I had seen other sellers offering this product for sale at festivals, flea markets, and other venues. After personally witnessing several transactions amounting to hundreds of dollars in sales, I thought it would be a good venture to pursue. My grandfather, Jim Lazier, aka Pappy, told me about a small carpet place in Dalton, Georgia called Peanuts Carpet House, and how I could purchase rugs at a low wholesale price. My first trip to Dalton confirmed to me how Peanut had gotten his name. I was 16 years old, but was already 6'5", and when I walked up to Peanut, he appeared to be a middle-aged man, all of 5 feet tall, with what looked like a small area rug on his head. It was a toupee. How fitting, right? And I think he was wearing boots with heels. Peanut had a contract with the local rug mills in Dalton that allowed him to purchase all overruns, irregulars, and seconds. Since Dalton, Georgia is known as the carpet capital of the USA, Peanut's opportunities were plentiful. Peanut had patiently explained to me, a kid at the time, that all of the 53-foot semi-trailers sitting on his lot were slap full of area rugs. He could sell me 6x9 rugs for $19 each. This, of course, got me excited since I had witnessed an existing market or a starving crowd at a $50 price point. If I'm being honest, I had to sleep in my truck that night to be able to afford the $1,000 I needed for this first order. After crawling for hours through what seemed like endless layers of rolled up rugs thrown into trailers and having all the hide from my knees worn off by the backings of his vast inventory of rugs, I selected my initial inventory of about 50 rugs, paid him cash, and pointed my old 1976 Ford box truck north. The entire 438-mile, 7-hour ride home, I was planning my attack. If I could sell my entire inventory for $50 each, I could turn my $1,000 investment into $2,500. My plan was to then return to Peanuts and stock up with 120 rugs, but I didn't plan for all the expenses I would incur while selling. When selling anything that comes in multiple variations, direct to consumers, face to face, it is impossible to sell down to your last unit. Another problem is, until I started unwrapping my new gold mine of inventory, I didn't quite understand what Peanut meant by seconds and overruns. About 20% or so of my inventory had irregular markings, rips, tears, runs, and all sorts of wacky inconsistencies in the design. Let's call this shortage and shrinkage. In order to continue my plan to dominate the flooring market in central Indiana, I needed a new strategy. While rugs were selling consistently at $50, by the time I figured in shortage and shrinkage along with travel expenses, theft, and sales commissions, $50 was not going to make me a millionaire anytime soon. Occasionally, when pitching a prospect, I would mention my amazing price of $50, which would be followed up by a strange look of concern. I was not ready for the endless rejection. It seemed I was only converting less than 1 out of 5 lookers, if that. On numerous occasions in the beginning, my hard-won customer would mention, "I can buy these at Walmart for $39, or I saw them at a flea market for less than what you charge. Can you do any better?" I thought to myself, I have to drive nearly 900 miles round trip, spend hours sorting through semi-trailers of hodgepodge rugs in various sizes, invest my cash in inventory, load the truck, drive to the location, set up the display, and talk to each customer, handle rejection, eat bad checks, pay my salespeople, pack up my inventory, drive home, and pray someone didn't break in and steal all my rugs while I was asleep. Yes. How in the heck could I survive competing with a huge company like Walmart? The answer was simple when it came to me. I needed to do one of two things or both. I needed to raise my prices or lower my cost. I felt I knew for certain that Peanut would not go lower than $19 for a small buyer like me, which only left one option, which was to raise my prices. Truthfully, my end product was likely inferior to Walmart's, so I would need to use a lot of persuasion and build more value into my product if I was to request a premium price. Here's what happened. Remember the story? I was just about to pitch this guy on a $150 rug. So here we go back to the book. For those of you joining me late, my name is Shawn Hart. I'm going through my book, Private Label Millionaire Secrets, page for page. Feel free to comment, like, and share. Back at the driver's side window, I proceeded to inform the driver that we have rugs in different styles and qualities, ranging from 100 to 400. Actually, they were all exactly the same product. And that he had obviously expensive taste because he had chosen a $200 rug. I further explained that since I seriously needed to break the ice and make a sale today, that I had already given him a 25% discount by offering the rug for only $150. Now, keep in mind, this is the exact same rug that I sold every day for 50 bucks. I was just trying a new pricing strategy. Back to the book. This is known as anchoring the price. The anchor was set at $200. So when a deal at $150, pardon me. So when getting a deal at $150, it became a much easier decision for him. I continued with, our unique area rugs are machine woven with high tech heat set olefin material, and that they were manufactured to be stain resistant, traffic resistant, pet resistant, and they come with a free replacement warranty if he would only cover the cost of shipping for a replacement. I also informed my customer that these rugs had been hand selected by myself personally directly at the source, and then I boldly requested again $150 for this $50 rug, offering to cover his sales tax to apply more pressure, finally asking if he preferred to pay cash or check. After a pause of what seemed like hours, but was likely only 10 seconds or more, as I stood there goofily smiling and nodding my head yes, Mr. Herdrick asked me, who do I write the check out to? I was actually surprised that it worked. Mind blown. Then I started recalculating. If I can average $125 per rug instead of $50, even after 20% shortage and shrinkage, irregularities, and so on, then I could 5x my money on every trip to Georgia. A new era of rug sales was born. Now for the persuasion part. By asking Mr. Herdrick which rug he was interested in, and then walking away immediately to dramatically climb a ladder, grab his selection, roll it up, throw it in the back of his car, is known as assumptive sales. Golly, he must have thought, how can I possibly negotiate with this man who has already invested so much energy in making me happy? Just a second, I need to plug this computer in. Didn't think that one through, did we? Oh, pardon me. That's what happens when you go to work before you shave. Throw this in here. There we go. Now we're charging. Okay, back to the book. I assumed he was a buyer, not just inquiring, and it soon became apparent that Mr. Herdrick was not looking for a deal, but was looking for a rug. This is very, very important. Not looking for a deal, he was looking for a rug. Maybe just because I was a natural cheapskate, always looking for a deal, didn't necessarily mean that everyone was a cheapskate. Maybe he just needs or wants a rug. Maybe it's not only about the price. They're not stopping to look because they think they can save money. They're stopping because they want or need a rug. That was the aha moment, the light bulb moment, if you will. It went off. Just like the split test that I shared with you that we were doing yesterday. Just because I feel like this offer is gonna work better doesn't necessarily mean that my customer or my prospect is gonna like that deal better, right? This is a multi-million dollar concept if you stop and think about it. Maybe what you're already doing is working, but could it be better by raising the price or trying a new strategy? Back to the book. I needed to stop assuming that everyone was a cheapskate and increase my prices. Just because I know these rugs only cost me $19 each doesn't mean they know my cost. I needed to increase the customer's perceived value if I wanted to survive. And it was that easy. Putting a product in a customer's hand is a very strong persuasion technique that allows them to borrow ownership of the product for a short period of time. Once the customer sees themselves owning the product, it's very hard for them to give it up unless they can simply not afford it. I learned this product in hand technique from my old friend Bill Helmling, aka Elvis, while he was training me on face to face sales. This technique was very strong psychological triggers and stimulates ownership of the product. Let me read that again. This technique has very strong psychological triggers and simulates ownership of the product. It's the same reason why a car salesman insists you take a test drive. You feel the car and you see yourself sitting behind the wheel as the owner. It works very, very well. In print or online, you can use what we call future pacing to allow the customer to picture himself owning your product and the benefits he will get from that ownership. For those of you joining me late, my name is Shawn Hart. I'm going through my book page by page, Private Label Millionaire Secrets, and breaking down all the concepts in the book. Back to the book. This is a sample headline. Just imagine what your golfing friends will think when they watch in envy as you drive a ball effortlessly past all other players with a satisfying ping. They'll think you've been taking lessons from Tiger Woods during the off season, but only you will know the truth. That's an ad, a headline for a golf club. That ad compels the prospect to see himself holding the golf club and wowing his friends. This is him seeing his future. Now back to pricing. Just because a product is selling well at a particular price does not necessarily mean that it is the most optimal price point. What we've discovered many times since Mr. Hedrick's check cleared the bank was the importance of testing price. Had my rug been sitting next to Walmart's rug while Mr. Hedrick was making his choice, he would have likely chosen Walmart's rug since the price was so much less, $39 versus $150, and the price would have been the only thing he could have compared. The reason is Mr. Hedrick would not have had the opportunity to see the obvious value in the product I was providing him. He would only have compared price. Of course, I didn't get $150 out of every rug, but I definitely averaged higher than my goal of $125. I created a very lucrative business, was able to hire more staff, get my mom to quit her factory job and start a rug business of her own, and open more locations with all the extra profits that came from simply increasing the value to the customer. Make no mistake, we are not just gouging them with a higher price. We're giving them the opportunity to invest in something that will be rewarding for them. Do you want a cheap rug or do you want a good deal on a premium rug? As humans, we often associate quality with price. For example, you'll soon hear about a $2.95 steak that I luckily dodged in Las Vegas. Mr. Hedrick probably is much more proud of his area rug than he would have been if I simply gave it to him for $50. If he had bought it for $50, then it's just a cheap rug. If he bought it for $50, then I wouldn't have been able to grow big enough to serve others and create more viable jobs in my area or successfully launch my mom into her entrepreneurial journey. We all win when we sell premium products at premium prices, and all parties involved walk away feeling better. Let's talk about Rolex. Rolex watches, for example. I've owned numerous watches, but only about half a dozen Rolexes, and my preference for knowing the time is still my iPhone. But what's really the difference between a Timex and a Rolex, besides three letters and the fact that one comes from Japan while the other comes from Switzerland? Only the perceived value is different. My very first Rolex had the ever so sought after self-winding feature, which was supposed to make life easier, but would actually punish me for not wearing it. Without the upgraded double quickset feature, if I didn't wear my watch for a day and allow it to self-wind from my wrist movements, I would have to wind the tiny crown at least 2,000 times, it seemed, to get the date set correctly. This is ludicrous. Thousands of dollars for a timepiece that takes 15 minutes to set. My Casio Databank watch, however, worked no matter how many days I left it lying on the dresser, and it only cost $34 compared to the $2,500 used Rolex Datejust I bought. How often have you heard someone brag about their new Timex or Casio Databank? It happens about as often as the Detroit Lions winning a playoff game. No offense, Detroit. At least you have Jared Goff now. Anytime you're mingling with someone sporting a new Rolex, though, they'll always be sure to dangle the watch in front of you, even if they do it subtly. I've even seen right-handed guys insist on shaking hands with their left hand to be sure you see his watch. They're much more proud of a Rolex because of the perceived value and status it carries around the world. At the end of the day, a Rolex is just a fancy piece of jewelry. It doesn't tell you the time any better than a $10 Timex, but it definitely feels better on your wrist. Do you think a $10,000 Rolex costs 1,000 times more to manufacture than a $10 Timex? Do you think it would be the world's most popular luxury watch if it only cost $50? What's my point? What you pay to manufacture your product or buy it from a wholesaler for should have absolutely nothing to do with how much you price your product. Just like Mr. Herdrick, you're giving your customers a lot more value and a lot more to brag about the more you charge for your product. Your customer, just like mine, will form a direct relationship with what they paid for your product and how much they believe it's worth. It's always easier to increase your conversions by lowering the price, but this is never the right answer. The objective of the offer is not to get your customers to buy it. The objective is to make profit. If you lower the price, then your profit is moving in the wrong direction because the limit to lowering the price is zero. But on the other hand, you can raise the price theoretically as high as you like. My friend Jason Fladlien is a brilliant marketer. We partnered with Jason's company Rapid Crush to promote a Chinese sourcing trip for Amazon sellers back in 2016. Before we partnered, I would take a group of sellers to China, teach them how to identify opportunities, and show them how to negotiate with suppliers and import products directly into the US. I was providing all this plus my expert advice along the way for $2,500 per person, plus they paid their own flight and hotel expenses. Not a bad deal, right? The trip I promoted right before Jason got a hold of the offer had just over 40 clients. Jason took the reins, increased the price to $5,000, and tripled the sales overnight. We sold more, sold at a higher price, and attracted only the best customers who could not see the value in a $2,500 sourcing trip. $6,000 per person turned out to be the perfect offer and resulted in trips with hundreds of happy clients. Little image from the book you can see here. Here's a photo of our sourcing trip from 2017 where we had nearly 300 paying clients in China for our 4-day intensive. This picture was taken in June 2017. Shawn is sitting in the front left with his son Moses close by. That's on page 70 of the book. Quoting Dan Kennedy, there's no strategic benefit to being the second cheapest in the marketplace, but there is for being the most expensive. What is the hidden agenda behind your MAFIA offer? Spoiler alert, it's to get more customers to buy at a higher price. Beware, though, it's very difficult to increase your price without at least increasing your perceived value. You want your customers to think that they're almost stealing from you. In other words, buying dollars at a discount. This reminds me of an old pal from Rushville, Indiana, my hometown. His name was Jimmy Neal. Jimmy sold me my first two cars, a 1985 Mustang LX and a 1987 Mustang LX, respectively. Both of these cars were 4-cylinders, but I added the 5.0 emblems to the fenders to make them look better and coincidentally more valuable. Jimmy was the best at subtle price anchoring. He was an old school hustler and was always buying and selling. Anytime Jimmy had something like a car for sale, if anyone inquired about the price, Jimmy would answer with, "I've got 2,000 in it," or whatever seemed a bit too high or inappropriate for the product. "What do you give me for it?" Now, how can you offer him $1,000 and keep a straight face if he had $2,000 in it? What Jimmy was doing was anchoring the price in your mind, so when he finally dropped to $1,500, you'd feel like you just stole $500 out of his pocket. What you don't know is that Jimmy might have only $500 in the thing. Of course, this is dishonest, but it happens every day all around us. Kudos to you, Jimmy Neal. If your customer feels like he's getting over on you, then it's a strong motivator when it comes to the price value discrepancy. Jimmy still does this today, and he likely doesn't realize that almost everyone who knows him sees right through it. I'm sure it's still producing results for him, though. Just like Mr. Herdrick, when I informed him that I alone had hand selected these rugs from thousands, a true story, how could he take advantage of me? Let's talk about how most sellers price their products. You look to see what other sellers are getting out of their product, or you consider what you paid for the product, then add in your markup, or maybe you attempt to be the cheapest to capture more market share. Here's something you should never forget. Most sellers who are at the cheapest price are dead broke. Have you ever heard the term racing to the bottom on price? This is what happens when too many sellers are competing to be the price leader. Believe me from experience, you do not want to play this game. Would you rather sell 100 items a day and make $1 each, or one item a day and make $100? The gross profit is the same, but it requires less staff, shipping costs, storage fees, customer service, commissions, returns, cost of selling, and basically every other component of overhead. Ask yourself, what was your goal when you started business? Was it to survive or thrive? If it was to survive and barely keep your head out of water, then you should probably be holding a different book. If your goal is to make a lot of money and create an amazing and rewarding business, then continue reading. If Dan Kennedy was correct and you agree, then you should try to be the premium priced option in your market. By doing so and creating real profits, you're able to invest those profits back into your business, therefore providing much more value to your customers. Being the highest price in your market also creates more intrigue and curiosity. We could deliver that China sourcing trip for much less than $6,000 since our hard cost was about $500 per client all in. But we found through testing that a $6,000 price would attract the perfect caliber of seller and convert even better than the $2,500 price. The additional profits also enabled us to provide a much better experience for each client by offering many other free support services and a ton of additional value for them. Do you really want to taste a $2.95 steak? I don't think so. We want to be painfully clear on this subject. The goal is to always price your product for the maximum allowable in your market and never apologize for it. Premium prices always equal more profits, and profits can solve almost any problem you encounter in your business. Every company needs growth. There's truly no such thing as sitting still in business. You're either moving forward or you're going backward. A static business does not exist in this or any other world. What does this mean? Simply put, if you're not growing your sales, then your business is dying. I know it's painful for many of us to hear, but we were forced to learn this the hard way. What does this mean for your business? Most markets do not stop growing. The U.S. economy alone grows at 2% per year. If your business isn't growing at a similar rate, then we are surely falling behind. This isn't even accounting for inflation. To put this into perspective for you, inflation in the United States in the year 2021 rather, was 7%. That means that every dollar you earned that year has 7% less purchasing power than it did the year before. If things keep going this way, it would only take you about 10 years to go completely broke. We're not looking for 7% growth in our business, though. What we've seen in our strategically chosen markets is 30 to 60% growth each year and more, which is way more than enough to keep up with inflation. What do we believe it takes to grow? It's simple, really. 1, find more buyers. 2, get those buyers to purchase more. 3, keep them around longer. It's that simple. Of course, there are more ways than one to find new buyers and countless ways to get them to buy more, but to keep it plain, that's all you have. These are the only ways we've found to grow a business no matter what industry you're in. Price versus value. Price is what you pay, value is what you get, according to Warren Buffett. Having a MAFIA offer gives you an unfair advantage because it allows you to sell something to a customer where they are not solely making a decision based on price. That means you can charge way more than so-called market value because there's no market value if there's nothing that can be compared to your offer. When you bring a MAFIA offer to market and get it right, you can scale your business faster than you can dream because cash flows in much faster than you have to send it out. Ask yourself, how is what you're selling different from what is already on the marketplace? Your main advantage with a MAFIA offer should never be a lower price. You don't want to discount. You want to offer more value so you can make more money. This means that you never want to be selling a commodity that can easily be substituted. Your MAFIA offers have to be unique so they cannot be commoditized. Your product cannot be viewed as the same as what already exists in the market. You don't want to be the 97 sleep mask that looks exact the same as everyone else's. You don't want to just get by in business. You want to make the maximum amount of profit that's due for you for the value you're delivering and not have to apologize for it. This will allow you to live your life you've dreamed of and not build yourself a job with more stress, risk, and lower pay. So whenever faced with lowering your price to build a better offer, don't. Always increase the value that you're delivering so you can keep your profit margins high. What makes a MAFIA offer? A MAFIA offer is an offer you cannot refuse. This offer is something that a prospect cannot compare side by side with anything else available. A MAFIA offer starts with an amazing promotion, an incomparable proposition of value, and a price that screams, "I'm the best," along with a guarantee that removes all risk for the buyer. This offer will enable you as soon as you find out to remove the expense of acquiring new customers. Instead, it allows you to get paid up front to acquire customers. Just like an eye heater example we provided in Chapter 1. This can and should eliminate the need to add extra capital into the business. To put it another way, this allows you to stand out in the crowd or separate your offer from the masses. When your customer makes their purchasing decision, it becomes a competition between your offer and nothing else. Here's what to do. Think about all the ancillary products, services, checklists, cheat sheets, introductions, to-dos, and such that you can add to your product's Mafia offer to make it a no-brainer. Of course, each market is different, so you'll have to use your imagination on this one. Think, what would my customer most likely need or want immediately after buying my product? Make a list and talk it over with your customers. Let your customers tell you what is most compelling to them. Sometimes we've even partnered with other products or services that are non-competing. Maybe, for example, if we were selling a pizza cutter, we may offer a coupon for a free pizza where Domino's even pays us $1 for giving away a free pizza to new customers. More on that later in what we call our Amazon listing value stack coming up. When applied correctly, this principle allows you to command any price you can conceive your customers to perceive. The price that you can get your customers to perceive is how much you can ask for because there is nothing they can compare it to. If a pizza is worth $15.99 and your pizza cutter sells for $12.99, then your offer now becomes valued at nearly $29 versus $12.99 without ever adding any cost to you, and the customer still pays only $12.99. What a deal. What happens to you? You'll have more valuable customers at higher prices and lower cost. Let's look at it another way. Better response, higher conversions, higher prices. For those of you joining me late, my name is Shawn Hart, and I'm going through page by page the book that I co-authored, Private Label Millionaire Secrets. Feel free to like, comment, share, and follow. When you have a true Mafia offer, your customers will line up to take you up on this. This means that you get more attention on your offer at a lower cost, a higher response, better profits, and more conversions. When those conversions are at a much higher price, you're forcing your business to expand. We've hit our fair share of Mafia offers while in the game. With a Mafia offer, you're in control of the cards being dealt, and you can stack the deck in your favor to win every time. Call it cheating if you want, but we just call it good business. This doesn't happen by accident or based on some hack that only we know about. It's more based on repetition because we've done it so many times that it's almost become second nature. We've sorted through a ton of failures and held on to everything that's produced the best results, and that's what you're reading here. What should you glean from all this talk about offers? Whether you create a Mafia offer or a regular offer, it will take you the exact same amount of time. So it pays you to get this right. The process is the same, but if your offer is a Mafia offer, it will make your business look like it's selling a totally unique product. This means it's an offer based on value versus price. On the other hand, if you have a commoditized offer, then your customers will compare based on price since they have no other choice. Your Mafia offer conversely pushes your customer to take a moment to evaluate the real value of your unique product. If you do it this way, you'll create your own category, meaning it's nearly impossible for a customer to compare your price with another. This also means that you're in control of calibrating your customer's value meter. This forces your customer to make buying decisions on value rather than price. The math behind the Mafia offer versus a normal offer. Here's a recent example from our business on Amazon. This is what we use to create Mafia offers on Amazon. This is our listing value stack strategy. Note, see a complete video walkthrough of this strategy free at www.listingvaluestack.com. That's listingvaluestack.com. While most Amazon sellers simply list a product, optimize that listing, and try their best to compete, you rarely see success, but this is how we do it. We create a product on Amazon that adds such a tremendous amount of value that it commands attention from all Amazon buyer traffic. Just like in true Mafia offer style, our product delivers way more value than the customer feels like they're paying for. Keep in mind, this works on any platform online, not just Amazon. We like to pair our offers with complementing free product offers that are fulfilled by third-party marketers. Affiliate offers already exist where consumers can claim a free gift, sample, or deep discount on a myriad of consumer products. Let's say, for example, you're selling a pizza cutter. Obviously, anyone purchasing a pizza cutter likely enjoys eating pizza. We would partner our pizza cutter offer online with an affiliate offer, giving each new customer one free Domino's pizza in exchange for his email address. So let me ask you, would you rather purchase a pizza cutter or a pizza cutter with a free pizza included? Both are the same price, but one comes with a free pizza. It's a no brainer, right? Let's not forget that by doing so, we could also earn up to $3 per pizza claimed. That is pure profit to you, and in this case, would more than cover the cost of your inventory. Out of the book, this offer found on maxbounty.com offers a free Domino's pizza in exchange for an email address. You can see the payout per opt-in is $3 for reference only. This book is not the place to discuss affiliate offers, but we are trying to bring it to your attention that the use of affiliate offers is a good way to separate your product in any crowded marketplace. When applying this principle, you'll increase your conversion percentages, attract a ton of new traffic, justify increasing your price, and deliver an end product that theoretically no one can compete with. Unless, of course, they've also read this book. Here's the math. The pizza cutter offer may look like this. Selling price, $12. Cost of goods, $1.50. Amazon commissions, $1.80. Fulfillment and shipping costs, $3. Net profit, $5.70. Add back affiliate commissions, $3, for a total profit, $8.70. By using our listing value stack strategy, we're able to raise our profit margin by 52%. My favorite part is that we can also reap all the benefits, generate more cash, and not increase our cost of doing business. This more than covers the cost of our inventory, and the most important and key benefit to you, this strategy helps you build a list of customers with their real contact information that can be used to make more offers later. Remember, when we said you can grow your business in 3 ways: find more buyers, get them to purchase more, and keep them around longer. When your customer goes to claim her free pizza, she must opt in via your offer page with her email address and claim the free pizza coupon. This builds your email contact list for future promotions. This MAFIA offer continues to produce results for you well after the initial order. We call this post-purchase marketing, but more on that later. As you can now likely see, the MAFIA offer versus a normal offer cannot be compared. Remember, whoever can pay the most to acquire a customer wins the war. This means that if you can raise your price and still get conversions at the same rate, then you can spend more to acquire customers and do it at scale. Here's an example of how the numbers play out. Let's say you pay $20 for ads to drive a sale for $40 at a 50% profit. Then you only have broken even. If this traffic was driven to a MAFIA offer with the same $20 in ad spend, you could produce the same $40 on the initial sale, but add additional value to your customer, allowing you to sell the same customer another $40 product with a follow-up offer. This win is even bigger than it appears because you're able to capture the customer's contact information like email and phone numbers. You're then able to reach out to your customer in the future to make even more sales. A recent MAFIA offer that we promoted with a $39 upfront offer resulted in an average purchase of $627 at the point of sale. Plus, we increased each customer's lifetime value with follow-up offers. This shows the power of what can be accomplished with a true MAFIA offer. With a MAFIA offer, you can easily increase your price, therefore eliminating the need for competitive pricing because your customer is getting much more value. Let's say your customer spots a lower priced version of something similar. When comparing the value of your offer, your customer should see an obvious discrepancy. A true MAFIA offer should never make you feel that you must lower your price to keep your customer. Lower prices means smaller margins, which in turn means smaller profits. With lower profits, you narrow your opportunities you have to acquire future customers. Don't ever give your customers the option to compare. By switching to a MAFIA offer, you can continue to raise your prices. If not, you'll be forced to continue lowering your prices to compete, and your business will eventually dwindle, or you may end up giving up on your dreams altogether. You'll want to create a MAFIA offer that's entirely unique and allows you to skip trying to explain how your product is different from others. One might say that if a customer has to ask, "What's so different?" then your offer is not clear enough and you need to further refine your offer. Your Mafia offer should be such a clear and obvious decision for your customers that no further explanation is needed. Mafia offer breakdown. You can spend the exact same amount of money for the same traffic, but with a Mafia offer, you can convert 2 times more buyers because it's much more valuable of an offer. You're also able to increase your price by a percentage of the perceived value of the pizza. For example, a $5 price increase. $5 for a $16 pizza, not bad. The end result is that our offer now appears worth $29 in our customers' minds, so we add $5 to the price of $12.99 to make it $17.99 without adding to our cost. And its value is $29, so we end up with 2 times as many conversions. Without the Mafia offer, you receive $12. With the Mafia offer, you're now getting paid to acquire new customers and build a real customer list. With the old way, you're only getting half as many orders because the offer is not as valuable. With a Mafia offer, you're converting twice as many people because the offer is more valuable, so you're making more profit and adding more customers. For those of you joining me late, we're almost finished. I'm going through chapter 5. My name is Shawn Hart. I'm going through the book Private Label Millionaire Secrets, which I co-authored last year with Seth Stevens. Back to the book. What's crazy is that your cost to acquire a new customer is almost free when compared to the profit you're making, and your only limitation is your willingness to do the work that you're already doing. The Mafia offer removes the restraint of cash flow, and acquiring customers will never be your Achilles heel again. This offer is 283% more profitable, and no, that's not a typo. This would be that moment on the stage where you drop the mic and walk away. This is an example of the type of Mafia offer we used in our private label business. As you can see, the numbers multiply quickly. Yes, 283% better seems insane, but this is what we're trying to get across. If you set up your offers the same way as your competitors, you'll get similar results. Boring. You'll win several hands and stay in the game, but you'll never hit a blackjack and grow. Like we said in the opening notes of this book, when you get this right and create a real Mafia offer, it's not gambling anymore. It's like buying one lottery ticket and automatically winning every single Powerball drawing for the next 10 years. In our first 18 months of selling private label products online, we went from $26,000 in our first month to over $10 million by month 18. So when you read 27-to-1 returns on ad spend, it's very real. If you get this right, the results are obscene. Amazon traffic has a fixed cost of 15% commission as this book is being written. But if you're paying for traffic, then the Mafia offer becomes so much more important for your business because you need to maximize the amount of revenue per dollar of ad spend. When you can control the average order value, it allows for more opportunity for buying traffic. Note, when adding bonuses to your offer, like our pizza cutter example, be sure to include the value of that bonus, i.e., includes a free $12 pizza or 12-inch pizza from Domino's, a value of $16.99. This way you apply more pressure on your prospect to buy now. It's an offer that's too good to refuse. The new Mafia offer way. We're so sure this eye heater will completely transform the way you control the climate in your home in a way that's rewarding in both comfort and heating cost savings that you can send us a check today for $479, and we'll hold that check for a full 45 days while you try our heater in your home. If after 45 days you don't agree that our heater was the best purchase you've ever made for comfort and savings, we'll send back your check and you can keep the eye heater at no charge, and we'll even give you a 10-year warranty. So if anything ever happens to your eye heater, even if it's your fault, we'll replace your eye heater 100% free, and we'll even pay for the shipping. Do you see the difference? I'm completely eliminating all risk for the buyer with this offer. This is an offer they cannot refuse. Charging a lot more. The first time I went to Las Vegas with a friend of mine, I discovered a new concept. The wealthier your friends are, the more money they cost you. I excitedly suggested, let's head over to the Horseshoe Casino. It's $2.95 steak night. And my friend, the late John Moses, whom I named my youngest son after, just smiled and asked, Shawn, do you really want to know what a $2.95 steak tastes like? I realized I do not. The more you pay for a steak, the better it tastes. This means that price is value in some cases. Here's an example from our private label business. We created a brand that sold hearing amplifiers. A lot of the people would buy them as an alternative to expensive hearing aids. They weren't medical devices, they simply helped with hearing in everyday scenarios like watching TV or talking on the phone. The economics of this business were amazing. The cost of goods for the product was less than $3, and the average competitor was selling theirs for $20. So overall, it was a pretty good business. But remember, price is value in some cases, so we started price testing. First, we tested $30, and we were shocked when our sales almost doubled. Then we tested $40 and sold even more. We then tested 50, then 60, and then we finally settled on $79.99, selling more units per day than we ever did when we were priced at $20. Why? Because no one wants a cheap hearing amplifier. Our customers were happier paying more because in their minds they were receiving a better experience. Even though it was exactly the same as it was before. In this scenario, price actually is value because our customers got a better experience and we made more money. Win-win. You can find many case studies proving that people have better experiences when they pay more. So when in doubt, charge more. MAFIA offer summary. This chapter should have cleared up the common problems with a normal commodity type offer and shown you how a MAFIA offer changes everything. Doing this removes you from a war on pricing and instead sets you up as a unique offer. We've also spent some time showing you how to find a starving crowd to use this pricing model on. It is the most important thing to get correct. Our MAFIA offer will not work if used on the wrong crowd. Never make this costly mistake in your business. Okay, that's the longest chapter in the book. That's chapter 5, creating your MAFIA offer, but well worth it. For those of you joining me late, my name is Shawn Hart, and I co-authored this book with Mr. Seth Stevens back in, 16, 17 months ago. And this video series is me going through the book word for word, page by page, chapter by chapter, breaking down the concepts when necessary and answering your questions live. No need to go buy it on audible.com. Save your money. Look at the bottom of the video here. You should see the scrolling ticker there. It says you can listen to this entire book free if you simply go to pppro.co/Shawn Reads. No opt-in, no strings attached. It'll take you directly to the YouTube series or playlist for this particular reading. My name is Shawn Hart. Thank you for hanging out with me. Today's Wednesday, September 6th, and we've been at this for about an hour now, so I'm going to go rest my voice and then go back to my real job. God bless you. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope to see you real soon.